Angel, girl, you're my angel, you're my darling. Angel Reese back up to her old bag of tricks.
In today's sports world, endorsements aren't just about sneakers, they're about legacy. The right partnership can turn an athlete into an icon, the way Michael Jordan redefined Nike, or how Allen Iverson gave Reebok its cultural edge in the 2000s. So when Reebok announced Angel Reese as their newest star, it raised eyebrows everywhere. A massive deal, a signature shoe already locked in for 2026, and bold promises from the top. CEO Todd Krinsky even compared her potential to Iverson and Shaquille O'Neal, claiming Reese could become a culture-shifting figure for a new generation. On paper, it sounded like a masterstroke. Young, outspoken, viral on social media, and fresh off her championship-winning college career, she checked all the boxes for a brand trying to make a comeback. But there's a problem. Shaq and Iverson weren't just cultural icons. They were dominant forces on the court. They inspired because they won, because their games spoke louder than their words. With Angel Reese, that part is missing. And as the ink dried on her contract, fans couldn't help but wonder, did Reebok just bet millions on hype over substance? If there's one stat that tells the story of Angel Reese's struggles, it's this: 31.5% on layups. Let that sink in. We're talking about a 6 feet 3 inches professional forward taking shots right at the rim and missing them nearly 70% of the time. To put it in perspective, most WNBA players finish layups at a 70 to 80% clip. For Reese, what should be the easiest shot in the game has become a coin flip. The lowlights are brutal. In one infamous sequence against the New York Liberty, she missed 4 straight putbacks in just 12 seconds. 2 of them were swatted right back at her. The clip didn't just go viral, it exploded online, instantly becoming one of the most shared blooper moments in women's basketball. And this isn't an isolated case. Game after game, Reese's missed finishes pile up. Commentators, professionals whose job is to hype every play, can't even hide their disbelief. In one broadcast, after yet another blown layup, an announcer chuckled live on air. Not the light-hearted kind of laugh after a rare miss. This was pure disbelief. When the very people paid to sell your greatness start laughing at your attempts, you've crossed into dangerous territory. Instead of being a reliable finisher in the paint, Angel Reese has turned the most fundamental basketball skill into her biggest weakness and into the internet's favorite punchline. In today's sports world, going viral can make or break a career. For Angel Reese, it's done both. Her missed layups have taken on a life of their own online. Fans splice together highlight reels, not of her best plays, but of her worst ones. Slow-motion edits, freeze frames, circus music playing over every botched finish. TikTok alone has created a whole subgenre of Angel Reese bloopers, racking up millions of views. On one level, it's exposure. People who might not normally watch a Chicago Sky game are tuning in just to see if she'll miss another bunny at the rim. But here's the problem. It's the wrong kind of attention. Instead of inspiring kids to buy her jersey or dream of being like her, the clips are turning her into a walking meme. She isn't the highlight, she's the punchline. And that creates a dangerous paradox for Reebok. Viral fame built on failure burns fast and fades even faster. Today, everyone's laughing along. Tomorrow, they've moved on to the next blooper star, and all that's left is a shoe contract tied to a reputation nobody takes seriously. For Angel Reese, the spotlight is bright, but the brighter it gets, the harder it is to hide the cracks in her game. If Angel Reese's season has been defined by bloopers, Caitlin Clark's rookie year has been the exact opposite. Clark didn't just arrive in the WNBA, she transformed it. Every arena she plays in sells out. TV ratings skyrocket when she's on the court. She breaks records for assists, three-pointers, and even jersey sales. In just months, Clark has become the face of the league, not because of her personality alone, but because she consistently delivers. That's what makes the Angel Reese saga sting even more. Both players entered the league with massive attention from their college rivalry. For many, they were supposed to be the 2 young stars who would carry the WNBA into a new era. But instead of a balanced rivalry, the gap has widened dramatically. One stat tells the story. When Caitlin Clark was sidelined with a quad injury, ticket prices for her matchup against Reese plummeted from over $100 to just $5. Fans weren't paying to see Angel Reese. They were paying to see Caitlin Clark. It's a brutal reality. While Clark's name drives ratings, Reese's name drives memes. One is filling arenas. The other is filling TikTok compilations. And that contrast hasn't gone unnoticed. Fans openly question whether Reebok bet on the wrong rival, hitching their comeback wagon to the player who can't seem to finish at the rim, instead of the one who's redefining the game. For Angel Reese, every missed layup isn't just a bad stat. It's another reminder that while Caitlin Clark is building a legacy, she's building a blooper reel. The Chicago Sky didn't just sign Angel Reese, they built around her. When she was drafted, the expectation was clear. Her rebounding and energy in the paint would anchor the team, giving the Sky a new identity. A young, scrappy core led by a rising star. On paper, it sounded like the beginning of something special. But in reality, it's been chaos. The Sky aren't just losing, they're sinking. Long losing streaks, an offense that stalls in crunch time, and a defense that can't hold leads. And at the center of it all is Reese, struggling to finish the very plays she was brought in to dominate. Here's the paradox. With Reese in the lineup, her finishing issues drag down the offense. Missed layups turn into fast breaks for the opponent. Possessions die at the rim. But when Reese is out with injury, the Sky don't magically turn things around. In fact, they often look even more lost. It's the worst of both worlds. With her, the mistakes pile up. Without her, the roster lacks direction. It's like the team has built its foundation on quicksand, and every game, they sink a little deeper. For fans, it's a bitter pill. They wanted a franchise cornerstone, but what they've gotten is a player who looks more like a liability than a leader. And the longer the Sky stumble, the louder the questions get. Is Angel Reese dragging the team down, or is the team exposing that she was never ready to carry this much weight? Just as the viral bloopers reached a breaking point, Angel Reese was suddenly sidelined with a back injury. On the surface, it was unfortunate timing. But for Reese, it almost felt like a perfect escape hatch. Her absence gave fans and critics a much-needed break from the endless highlight reels of missed layups. For a few weeks, the blooper machine slowed down, giving her space to reset the narrative. But the timing raised eyebrows for another reason. Her injury kept her out of one of the most anticipated matchups of the season, a head-to-head showdown with Caitlin Clark. Fans had circled that game from the start. College rivals meeting again on the pro stage, with Clark carrying her fever into national spotlight and Reese fighting to prove she belonged in the same conversation. It had all the makings of a blockbuster. But without Clark on the court due to her own quad injury and Reese sidelined with her back, the hype collapsed. Ticket prices that had soared to over $100 sank to just $5. The game went from event of the week to just another WNBA matchup. To critics, it looked like convenient timing, avoiding a potential embarrassment on national TV against the league's hottest rookie. To supporters, it was just bad luck. Either way, the story shifted from what could have been to what never happened. And for Reebok, that meant one less opportunity to prove their star could shine in the spotlight. For most athletes, broadcasters are your biggest safety net. Their job is to hype the game, defend the stars, and keep fans believing in the product. But for Angel Reese, that protection is gone. During one game, after a sequence of botched finishes, a commentator couldn't hold it in. They laughed. Not a playful chuckle, not a light slip, a genuine, "Did I just see that?" laugh. And it went out live, on air, to millions. Moments like that don't fade. They get clipped, replayed, and shared across social media. Suddenly, the people paid to celebrate your career are part of the viral machine mocking it. It's rare in pro sports. Even struggling players usually get framed positively. She's just in a slump. Shots will start falling. She's working hard. But with Reese, the narrative has flipped. The broadcasters sound less like hype men and more like spectators in disbelief. And that shift matters. Because if commentators stop selling you as a future star, fans stop believing it too. Instead of building trust in Reebok's $200,000 gamble, Each broadcast becomes another reminder that the hype doesn't match the play. For Angel Reese, it's one thing to have trolls online making fun of you. It's another when the voices of the league can't even keep a straight face. When Reebok announced Angel Reese as the face of their comeback, they didn't just sell her as a player, they sold her as a cultural movement. Reese is unapologetic. She's bold. She embraces the spotlight, talks back to critics, and stays viral on social media. For Reebok, that energy was gold. It fit perfectly into their history of marketing rebels like Allen Iverson, who turned sneakers into statements. But here's the catch. Iverson didn't just talk, he dominated. He backed every ad campaign with crossover highlights and MVP-level play. Shaq didn't just sell his personality, he sold dominance in the paint. Culture worked because performance came first. With Angel Reese, the formula feels reversed. She has the attitude, the personality, the sound bites, but not the production. Her popularity is driven by headlines and memes, not dominance on the court. And that's where Reebok's gamble looks dangerous. Lifestyle appeal works for certain products, fashion, cosmetics, even casual apparel. But when you're selling a performance sneaker, it has to connect to actual performance. Fans don't want to wear the blooper shoe. They want to wear the shoe of a player who's feared, respected, and unstoppable. Instead of becoming a symbol of rebellion, Reese risks becoming a symbol of overhype, a cultural figure without the credibility to anchor it. For Reebok, the question isn't just whether Angel Reese can sell shoes. It's whether she can sell the illusion that she belongs in the same conversation as the legends they're comparing her to. Publicly, Reebok is all in on Angel Reese. The press releases talk about her as the future of the brand, a culture-shifting icon, the next great face of women's basketball. But behind the scenes, the whispers are very different. Industry insiders have already started questioning the move. Can a player shooting 31% on layups really be the anchor of a performance sneaker line? Executives know fans don't buy shoes tied to players mocked for their mistakes. Sneaker culture thrives on dominance, on being able to say, I wear the same shoes as the player who's unstoppable. Right now, Reese is anything but. There are even quiet rumors that Reebok is scrambling to reframe her brand. Instead of marketing her shoe as a performance product, some suggest they may pivot to a lifestyle release, sneakers built more for fashion than for the court. That way, they can lean on her viral fame and outspoken personality without tying the shoe directly to basketball credibility. Others whisper about delaying the 2026 launch altogether, buying time in hopes that Reese can turn her game around before the spotlight gets brighter. But time is running out. Every game she struggles, the gap between hype and reality widens. And every viral blooper pushes Reebok's gamble closer to looking like one of the biggest endorsement misfires in recent memory. The clock is ticking. Reebok circled 2026 as the year Angel Reese's signature shoe would drop, a release designed to reintroduce the brand to a new generation. The campaign is already in motion, the money already spent. But every day between now and then feels like a countdown to disaster. Because here's the truth, sneaker launches don't happen in a vacuum. By the time 2026 arrives, fans will have 2 full seasons of Angel Reese highlights or lowlights to shape their perception. If the bloopers continue, the shoe will already carry a stigma before it even hits shelves. Think about it. Who's lining up at midnight to buy the sneaker of the player famous for missing layups? Sneaker culture is about pride, about performance, about wearing a piece of greatness. No one wants to wear the blooper shoe. And the scariest part? There's no escape hatch. Contracts are signed. Marketing plans are rolling. The train is already on the tracks, and Reebok can't slam the brakes without admitting failure. For Reese, that means every game between now and 2026 is more than just a test of her basketball ability. It's a test of her brand, her marketability, and maybe even her career trajectory. 2 years may sound like a long time, but when the spotlight is this bright, it feels like a countdown to Judgment Day. Sports history is filled with iconic shoe deals, the ones that worked and the ones that flopped. And when you compare Angel Reese's situation to those before her, the contrast is brutal. Take Michael Jordan. His Air Jordan line didn't just succeed because of Nike's marketing genius. It thrived because he dominated every time he stepped on the court. People wanted to be like Mike because he made the impossible look easy. LeBron James? Same formula. He entered the NBA with hype, but he backed it up with immediate all-star production. His sneakers weren't just cool, they were tied to a generational player reshaping the game. Even Allen Iverson, Reebok's crown jewel, earned his sneaker legacy through his fearless style of play. His crossover wasn't a meme, it was a movement. Fans wore his shoes because he was electrifying on the court first, and everything else followed. Now look at Angel Reese. The hype is there. The personality is there. The media buzz is there. But the production isn't. Instead of inspiring kids to copy her moves, she's inspiring TikTok parodies. Instead of fueling sneaker culture, she's fueling the meme economy. Caitlin Clark is the modern counterexample. Her NIL deals and jersey sales prove that when hype meets real performance, the business explodes. She delivers and the market responds. Reese, by contrast, risks proving the opposite, that hype without dominance collapses under its own weight. If sneaker history teaches us one thing, it's this: winning sells. And right now, Angel Reese isn't winning the way her brand desperately needs her to. In the short term, viral fame feels like power. Every clip racks up millions of views. Every blooper turns into free publicity. For Angel Reese, that attention has kept her name alive even while her game falters. But here's the problem. Viral fame built on failure is a time bomb. Internet culture moves fast. Today, the missed layups are funny. Tomorrow, fans will move on to the next meme. And once the laughter dies down, what's left? A reputation built on mistakes, not moments of greatness. Worse, the viral spotlight is unforgiving. Every game becomes a chance for another clip, another meme, another reminder of the gap between the hype and the reality. For most athletes, going viral is about signature moments. For Reese, it's about signature misses. That's not sustainable. And Reebok knows it. They didn't invest in a meme star, they invested in a supposed franchise player. But right now, Reese's fame feels more like reality TV drama than basketball credibility. It keeps her relevant, but not respected. If she can't flip the narrative, she risks becoming trapped by the very thing that made her famous. Viral attention can spark a career, but it can just as easily burn it down. Reebok wanted the next big thing. A star who could sell culture, sneakers, and a new era of women's basketball. On paper, Angel Reese looked like that player. Young, bold, outspoken, viral. But the reality on the court tells a different story. Missed layups, blooper reels, and a team struggling to find its identity. A rivalry with Caitlin Clark that was supposed to define the league has instead highlighted just how far apart the two really are. For Caitlin Clark, the formula is simple: deliver on the court, and the business follows. For Angel Reese, it's been reversed: hype first, performance later. And that gamble is running out of time. By 2026, her signature shoe will hit shelves no matter what. If she turns things around, it could be a comeback story for the ages. But if she doesn't, it may go down as one of the most infamous sneaker flops in sports history, a case study in betting on personality over performance. The question now isn't just whether Angel Reese can improve. It's whether fans will still believe in a hype when the memes fade and the spotlight turns cold. So I'll leave you with this. Is Angel Reese a future icon waiting to break through, or the most expensive punchline in basketball history? Comment down below.